Hey, what's going on, guys? At the time of this recording, I have been married for almost 5 years. Every now and then, I'll think to myself, I reflect on my marriage. I think to myself, what can I do as an individual to improve my marriage? Because the only ones we can truly change are ourselves. So, the following 3 items are 3 of the things I have been thinking about recently that I can do personally to improve my marriage. Now, many times it's not that we don't know what to do, it's that we don't do what we know. So these 3 things might not be brand new to us, but maybe we just needed a little bit of a reminder in order to start implementing them regularly. And I know for myself, I needed these as a reminder. So point number 1, listen to your spouse. I can never ever overemphasize the importance of listening. When I say listen, I don't mean listen to prepare to respond. I mean listen to truly understand. When we listen to prepare to respond, we aren't truly listening, and we won't convey back to them what they actually said. We might misunderstand some things. Maybe they said it in a way that could have been said a little bit better. So since we're not really listening, we don't ask for clarification. So the message that we receive is not the message that was intended. So we just increase the chances that there will be misunderstanding. And then all that's going to happen is your spouse is going to dig in their heels, because listening is like oxygen. If you don't feel listened to, if you don't have oxygen, you're not thinking about anything else. So if you don't feel listened to, you're definitely not going to be willing to listen to the other person. So take the initiative. Be the first one to listen to understand. You don't have to agree with everything that was said. But if you listen to understand, you will at least increase the chances that you will come to a decision, come to a conclusion, a solution to your issue that better than both of you could have come up with individually. And one thing I found for me personally is that my wife and I, when we think about an issue together and come up with a decision together, that joint decision is always better than the decision that we make separately. That's point number 1. Listen to your spouse. Point number 2. Don't be a buzzkiller. Your spouse might get excited about something that you might not be that excited about, but don't destroy their excitement. So, for example, if you drive by your spouse's childhood house and they say to you, "Hey, that's the house I grew up in," and you say, "Oh, that's cool. Thanks for sharing that with me." Then the second time they drive by, "Hey, that's the house I grew up in." Yeah, I already heard that. You already told me that before. You don't have to repeat it again. See, right there, that's buzz killing. It's something that excites them, so just share in that excitement, or at least don't kill it, right? Now, if they told you 5 or 6 times in a row, that's different, right? Maybe you should say something about that. But if it's just once or twice, maybe even 3 times, to push it a little bit, it doesn't hurt for you to hear something 2 times. It won't hurt the second time you hear it, I promise, right? So don't be a buzz killer. Point number 3, leave your spouse alone. So here's the deal. Your spouse likes to do things in certain ways that you don't do them. Just because they like to do things in that certain way doesn't mean it's wrong. You might even have an objectively better way to do things. Maybe your way is cheaper, your way is faster. You can use objective criteria to say that my way is better. But if it's not going to affect your livelihood, just let it go. So for example, it's not going to affect you monetarily. No one's health is at risk, right? The safety of your property is not at risk. Just leave it alone. And especially some of the petty things that we criticize our spouses about. Why do you wash dishes like that? Why do you turn so wide when you're trying to park in the parking spot? Why do you spend so much time looking at the weekly ads? That's something that makes them happy. So leave them alone to do that thing that makes them happy, right? And, not everything that we don't like that our spouse does is a matter of national security. So leave them alone and let them do their thing. And also so they can let you do your thing as well, right? And just realize that you're not the all-knowing guru. Not everything you do is the best way. You don't do everything in the best way. So those are 3 of the things that I've been reflecting on recently. I hope those were of benefit to you. Until next time, this is Brother Q. Assalamu alaikum.